Yo, my mic was off. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Happy Winning Wednesday. How y'all feeling? What's been going on with y'all? Your girl got her head and look. Ooh, but yeah, I'm feeling good. How y'all feeling? Success sessions start next week, y'all. That's crazy. Next Tuesday, we'll be back having our summer sessions, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. with lunch at 1 o'clock. Good stuff all day. So, y'all ready or what? Let me see what y'all talking about. Let me pull up my YouTube. Pull up my YouTube real quick. Cause yeah. This the wrong live I just pulled up. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hey Bree. Hey Raquel. Hey Reality. Hey Gemma. Hey Fatima. Hey Dawn. Happy Winning Wednesday. Hey Sane. Hey Soul. Dawn Ray. Book the look. Nostalgia. Shout out to Dallas for giving me a reference who I can go to. Hey Kayla. Yo, I'm too pumped for next week. Like success sessions, it's something just so different about the summertime. Like just so different. Hey Elda. Hey Antonio. They finally popping up on the restream. Y'all know how restream get a little ghetto. Hey Nyasia. Hey Gemma. I said hey to Gemma. Gemma's got a double hey. Hey Dante. What's been going on with y'all? What y'all been up to? Ooh, our guest coming on. We got a couple minutes. We're gonna leave our guest backstage for a couple minutes. But how everybody feeling? What's been going on? Did y'all get your hair done or your haircut? Because I don't know, my energy is just different now that I got my hair done. Don't say I used to hate the summer. I think I like it now, y'all. Yeah, summer it'd be like new money, new opportunities, like new people. Okay. Naya just said chilling. Really said working. Antonio said chilling. Bree, how you feeling? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Gemma, how you getting your hair? Gemma said she getting her hair done tomorrow. How you getting your hair? Dawn said, I facilitated my first session in New Horizons with Sid and Tay Bands. It was so fun. I got to watch the recording, y'all. I'm technically supposed to be off. I'm not going to lie. From the Tuesday just passed, so yesterday up until success session starting on next Tuesday. Because I never really took a break from when I came back from college. I just jumped into everything. Started doing panels, kept co-hosting Winning Wednesday, literally this program, met through Henson, like, it was so many different things going on. So I tried to give myself a break, as much of a break as I could. But Winning Wednesday, I had to come on because, y'all, this is basically like therapy. I had to come on therapy. You can't miss therapy. So Gemma said heavy on new money. Bree said playing softball and working. Dante said shopping for my business, working behind the scenes. I get my hair cut next week. Yes. Okay, business. Why one of my little leaders said they was going to start their business with the money they got from my sessions. I was like, go ahead. Do you. Go ahead, start your business. Raquel said, proud of y'all. Dante said he want to dye his hair again, but I don't know what color. I don't know either. Every time I do some color in my hair, I get bored. Like, I get tired of it. Like, I don't know, my regular hair color, I'm like, okay, I can do it for a little bit. But with color hair, it's like, couple days I like it. I'm feeling like a new person. And then I'm like, I don't want this no more. Gemma said I'm getting a braided ponytail when I'm getting my nails done tomorrow. Y'all can't get my nails done. Let me show y'all. I got a bruise right here. I got a bruise on my pinky. I don't know. I'm going through it. I'm gonna wait to get my nails done for a while. Dawn said they made him dance at the end. Not too much. Dawn, now I gotta really watch the recording because y'all got something going on. Marquise, is your first Winning Wednesday? If so, welcome. Dawn said heavy on therapy. Everybody know Winning Wednesday. This is your session. This is your therapy. So this is the session you make sure you on. You never miss it. Especially with our guests. Like, Trying to think. Okay. Yo always trying to put me on something talking about the word do ginger. Girl, I might see. Antonio, stop playing with me. I'm not getting no shape up. And Dante, I've been good. Burnt out though. I'm not gonna lie, burnt out. So that's why I try to do the Tuesday thing, because I didn't take a break, and I feel it behind the scenes. Like I can make everything cool when I'm like in front of people, but I'm burnt out, so I'm trying to get better. But all right, y'all, I'm about to bring my guest on, our guest that we love so much. Unfortunately, today is our last session with them until the summertime and they back. But yeah, welcome. How y'all feeling? Winning Wednesday.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
You can see Jewel over here stuck with these earrings for y'all, don't y'all?
No, I had to put my glasses on because I've had my contacts in for too long.
She's stuck with these earrings. Look at that.
Yeah, we need some earrings like that. Like, I normally rock my mom paparazzi. I got some paparazzi in right now. She ready to do her live downstairs, but I always wear my mom's earrings that she sells. But I always love your earrings, Miss Jewel. Where you get yours from?
So Coach Desmond bought these for me from Detroit.
Yes.
From Detroit.
Dang. Y'all got the out of state jewelry. Stop playing.
I really love earrings, period. It's just like it's almost like getting your hair done, right?
It's like flowers for her.
It's an accessory. It's something that like changes my mood. I like the way that they look. So even when I'm, my shape up might not be right, my earrings are.
Donovan is your hype man. You hear me? Look what he said.
I love Donovan.
Donovan love you. You hear me?
Listen.
Just so we know, this is my wife.
Everybody for real needs a hype person. You need somebody in your corner that when you really not feeling it, they can help you bring it back to who you are and how amazing Absolutely. You are. So I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So this is a great day. On Monday, we talked about what our biggest challenges are right now. Right?
Look, we need somebody already.
Can we come into you first? So if you were not able to share on Monday, I definitely want you to share in the chat. If it's changed since Monday, definitely share in the chat, right? And we want to be able to kind of go through each person's biggest challenge and talk through it. And depending on how much time we have left after that, there were a few other things that came up in Monday's session that I just wanted to reiterate. So let's start with the biggest challenges. Right now, at the state that you are in, as a teenager, as entrepreneurs, as go-getters, right, as beings, what is your biggest challenge right now?
Cam, that tan looking real good too.
Thank you, but I know mine, and it's tied right back into what I was just saying to everybody about me feeling burnt out. Mine is like prioritizing myself and like more so like my personal life, because anybody know that I'm reliable as far as like work and everything. I'm always on top of that. But when it comes to like doing some recharge time, closing the MacBook, putting it to the side, I really struggle with that. But that's something that I've been struggling with for a while. And like people keep bringing it to my attention that like they can kind of sense it now. So like shout out to Miss Mo, because one time we was having lunch and she was telling me like, were you okay? Because the other day when I saw you at Fun Day, your energy just not this was like how it usually be. And I'm like, really? It wasn't, like normal. I mean, I thought I was trying to perceive it as normal. I thought it was normal, but she like, no, that's not you. So then I was like, well, yeah, I probably do really need a break. And I already knew that, but sometimes you just need to hear it from other people to just like really take it into consideration.
Okay. So this is like, nothing is a coincidence, right? So I literally had a session earlier today with someone who's having the same exact issue. And my question to that person and my question to you is prioritizing yourself truly a priority? Is it important to you? And we know what's important to us based on what we do, not what we say. Right? I'm gonna sit down. I don't know how many times he's heard me say that. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna do it. Hold on, I'm almost finished. I get in and I'm gonna get in and say, no, for real, babe, I'm gonna sit down. Right? Like, how familiar does that sound? The truth is that you would rather sit down on your own than to be sat down. Burnout is being sat down. It's when your body says, you know what, you haven't been listening, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut it all the way down. Right? And you won't even worry about your MacBook when you burnt out because you have no energy to give anything. So how do we begin to actually show up for ourselves in the way that we show up for everybody else? Right? So a lot of people like to be fixers. A lot of people like to be of service to other people because it is a way that we compensate for ourselves, right? But are you important? Do you really believe that you are? And if so, what steps do you need to take in order to show yourself that you are the priority and that everything else outside of your well-being, your physical, mental, emotional well-being is non-negotiable? Right? Y'all be on it. Y'all be sending these emails out. Y'all be making sure we write for the next session, right? Have you scheduled yourself? And in Monday session, I always say that we are not giving you any information that we haven't taken for ourselves or that we're still working on for ourselves. You want to say something?
I don't.
Oh, okay. So
I was gonna say, well, I noticed that I function the best when I really am intentional about my schedule. So like when I was at school and it wasn't really nothing new, it was just like a different environment, I guess. I was real heavy on my schedules with like everything. So like going to the gym, eating my meals, like not down to the bathroom, that's doing too much. But like all the things that I felt like I needed to do to make me like function at my best ability was in the schedule already. So like when I went to sleep, I had whatever I was going to do on my mind. So the next day, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm going to eat this. Like I would have my meal figured out, like my outfit already set out, my vitamins on the table, ready and waiting for me, toothbrush, everything just sitting right there. And that's how I was functioning like in college. And then when I came back, it was like I was just trying to get my footing again because I haven't been home for so long. So trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. And then it kind of got like lost, I guess you can say, and like how I was trying to find that footing. So then this week I decided to go back to doing the schedules. I haven't been posting them like, how I used to do, but I've been keeping to a schedule. So like I went to the gym, yesterday and the day before that, and I plan on going tonight. And I had like a little to-do list and things to do today. So things kind of been going smoother as I'm trying to like finish the rest of the summer because I know I'm going to be implementing the same system when I go back to school. If that makes sense. So it's all about like how I look at my time and how intentional I am about it. It just sometimes it just be inconsistent, I guess you can say. Like sometimes it'd be like I'm on top of everything, I'm following the schedule as planned, and then other times it's like okay, I just want to chill out or something like that. So forget the schedule this day, or I'm gonna rearrange the schedule or something like that.
Right. Exactly. Right. So the fact that your patterns and your habits are really good, right? It's just about practicing, doing it over and over and over again until you get into a rhythm that works the best for you, right? That's best for your overall well-being. This keeps coming back up, but in Monday's session, I talked about being a conduit, right? And what is a conduit? A conduit is what water flows through or something flows through, right? When we are, setting up ourselves to be the best that we possibly be, we operate as if we are this machine. We operate as if we are like this gadget outside of ourselves. But in reality, everything comes through you. Everything. This coaching, this marriage, this, the things that you're doing, your entrepreneurship, you're being a leader, you're, standing up and being an example for other people. All of that stuff comes through you. So if you do not have the rest, the revitalization, I told my friend a little bit earlier, I mean, when I don't have the energy that I need. I am.
She eat people. Like I lost a couple fingers, so she eat people.
I mean, I have to be honest. I've seen myself go through the spiral of going to burnout, right? Without listening, without taking counsel. I saw elders saying not receiving help, right? Not receiving my help. Like, I know what that looks like. I know what it feels like. So now I can begin to say, okay, I'm feeling this agitation come on now. I'm not as happy doing the work that I'm doing. Okay, this is my indicator for me that it's time to slow down. It's time to reevaluate, right? It's time to get quiet. It's time to stop letting everybody pull on me, right? So you already see what's happening inside of your schedule, inside of the thing, in the way to move. Now you just have to continue to practice.
So let me say, everybody has a phone, right? And everybody, when that phone get like 50%, we running around to try to find a way to charge it, even when it's at 50%, right? Why we don't do that for ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Why we treat the things that we control better than why do we treat the things we control better than the thing that controls the things that we love? Does that make sense? I'm saying that to say, like, if your phone was on 15, 20, you be running around, oh my God, my phone needs to be charged. I need a charger. Don't talk to me till I get, it would be extra, right? It'd be really extra. I'm sorry, I don't mean to
That's
do that.
right, you fine.
It would be really extra, right? And you'd find the charger, you'd go around asking everybody walking up the street, I don't need no money, but can I hold your charger? You would do that, right? Then how is it that we seem to think that these bodies that don't get replacement parts don't need charging? This mind, right? A lot of us, this age, we get more mental overload than everything, right? Between all of the scrolling, thoughts that are going out here, all this information. I know we seem to think that's what the human body do. It didn't do that 15 years ago. I'm saying those things to say we really have to make resting a priority. So my wife is on the spectrum where, I choose to tell her, you have to chill out. I'm the other way where she got to tell me, you got to do something. It's like, cause I'm gonna chill all the time. All the time, I'm going to get my rest in. Like I'm gonna do it. Desmond, it's time to work. Get out of my face, I'm resting. I've been working all my life. But I say all those things to say, and thank y'all for the laugh, but we really have to get clear about what rest is. And like, it don't just certainly mean you have to lay in the bed, but like, how about unplug the phone for a minute, right? Like, cut it the fuck up. Cut the phone off. If we hanging out with our friends, like, I'm tired. If you want to come over and I just want to sit on the couch, I'm tired. Think about it. Do you like being mean? And most of y'all probably mean all the time. You know why? Because you ain't been to sleep. You ain't rest. You cranky. But I do want to address one comment I seen earlier. So Real Spill says she feels like being 17, or Real Spill says being like 17 is holding back in life. Well, how old you supposed to be?
We talked about this on Monday too. So I don't know if he was there or not. But we talked about not despising your youth. Mm-hmm. At this point, right, at that 16, 17, 18, 19 stage, you all's minds, whether it is because of the influences that are around you, whether it's your parents, whether it's society, whatever it is, they're pushing you to be this adult. You got to have it together. Like, get your stuff together, right? Fun fact. You're never going to have it all together. Never. You may have better moments than others, right? You might find your groove at this 18 stage, at this 17 stage. But guess what? That same groove might not work at 20. Right. That same groove may not work at 25, right? So what we really have to get really clear about is, what can I do right now that's in my control? What can I develop in myself right now, right? So we talk about bypassing all of these teenage years and getting older, but guess what? You ain't stopped to get the wisdom. You ain't stopped to get into the process that will help you be where you want to be when you get 25, when you get 35, right? Don't let the circumstances or what it looks like at this moment keep you back from being open to saying, what's the lessons I need to learn right now? How can I be preparing myself for where I want to go? Do I have all the knowledge I need right now? Do I have, you'll never have all the money, right? You can even be rich. There's always something that's going to not be. What do I need right now? What can I do right now? Exactly where you are. The 19, 20-year-old stage is the figuring it out stage. You still figuring you out.
You know, and let me just touch the elephant in the room. You're a kid. You're a kid. I know you don't think when you grow up, everything gonna be different. It's like when a person poor. They think money gonna change everything. So you think you get older and I'm gonna get to do whatever I want. I'm gonna tell you right now, honestly, like you're gonna be an adult a lot longer than you gonna. Why you spending the remaining years of being a kid rushing to be an adult?
Yeah.
Like right now, most of y'all are 17. Let's just say everybody's 20, right? And let's just say you live to 100.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be at least 70 plus years that you an adult.
Yeah.
Why you rushing that? Be a kid. There's nothing wrong with being a kid. There's nothing wrong with being young.
Right.
Figure it out. Make mistakes. Enjoy it.
I think on Monday, Coach Johnson was talking about, feeling childish.
Right.
I'm young. This feels childish. But guess what? This is a part of your growing process.
Maybe it feels childish because it is childish.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. Like, it's reframing. That's my word for the day. Reframing the way that we look at things.
Yeah.
Sometimes we complain about what we have and where we are, right? Some of you way surpassed where I was when I was 17. Some of y'all got whole businesses. Right? Y'all out here doing the things. I was trying to figure it out. I was coasting.
I bet you're at 17 right now. Some of y'all got more money in your pocket than I got.
Right. So, like, don't just let money be the goal, right? The biggest thing that you can ever, the greatest thing that you can ever invest in is yourself. What skills do I need? We've been talking about this for a month now.
Right.
What's my emotional intelligence look like? How do I communicate with other people? How am I networking? Am I talking to the people that I need to talk to in order to get to where I need to be?
Right.
Where are those people? Am I scared to be in the room? Okay, if I'm scared to be in a room, who can help coach me to get into the room? Who can bring me along? Who's my mentors right now? Right?
I think the challenge is when you kid, sometimes, and I'm going to say this, our parents just lord over us, right? Yeah, I'm going to say that they lord over us. They don't really value our opinions. And sometimes we feel like they don't value us. And we feel like, well, if I become an adult, everything will change, right? Mm-hmm. You ain't never going to be older than your parents.
Never.
So stop it. Unless they die right now and you surpass the age, you're never gonna be older than your parents. You're always gonna be a kid to your parent. I'm saying that to say y'all seeing all of the things that y'all don't have as children, but you don't see what you do have. Mm-hmm. So as just reframing what you're seeing, right? You seeing being a kid as it sucks. I see being a kid as you have an opportunity to make a whole lot of mistakes and recover from them, right? And not carry the weight of the world, because you still don't have to. Sum up for a lot of y'all, and not paying rent, which is a beautiful thing. If you think about paying rent is going to solve all your problems, know that you can trade in your parents' mouth for a monthly payment. And I can promise you, if it's not ugly at home, stay home as long as you can. Save all the money that you can. So by that time when you springboard into adulthood, you got to step ahead of everybody else. We just thinking about getting out of our parents' house is the end of it all be up. Because I want to be grown and I want to have people over my house and all of those things are great.
Yeah.
All of those things are
I don't
great.
even like people like that to be just having people over my house.
Okay, well, thank you for that. But sometimes, you know, we kind of want to do some things we want to do, or we want some privacy, right? And I'm not against that, right? But imagine if I stay home and the things are good at home, and I'm paying whatever little piece of money I'm paying, and all my rest of the money I get to just party. Wouldn't you like to party until like 35 and then be an adult?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
I want to read this comment real quick from Yolanda. But sometimes our generation has been pushed to become more like adults due to our parents, especially. You are 100% correct.
Absolutely.
Right? So this does not fully apply to those who have had to transcend or leave behind childhood because our parents have not been able to do that. Like, that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah, I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that 100% because you have to do what is necessary in your situation, right? The other thing about that is who else can you surround yourself with to get the support that you need, right? I saw somebody else say asking for help, right?
Yeah, I was just going to touch that.
Go ahead.
If you think you're going to get through this life without asking for help, I'm not going to be wordy. I'm going to say good luck.
Yeah.
My wife has struggled with that. I have struggled with that within this relationship. And it wasn't beneficial either one of us. I get it. The problem is help. You don't want to hear somebody tell you no. You want to hear somebody not give you what you want. But that's not how it works.
Or be disappointed.
Right, or be disappointed, right?
Disappointment. I know for me, big part. First of all, I'm sorry, my name's Fatima. I'm Cam's.
Hey, Fatima, how you doing?
I'm good. I feel
I
like
appreciate the smile.
A big issue with me is people counting the favor. That's one thing I fear, and that's why I hate, like, it comes back like, oh, I did this, I did that in the middle of an argument. That's one thing I always try to avoid with asking. I feel like that's my issue with asking for help.
I can relate to that. I had that, and when me and my wife both struggle with that, at least from what I hear when we talked for a long time. And then it was on the people you asked.
Yeah. So it's finding the people. So here's the thing, right? Everything is not a one-stop shop.
Yeah, absolutely. Say that again.
Listen, just like relationships, just like teachers and mentors and all of these things, that first person may not be your person.
That part.
That next person may get you to a certain place, but you like, that doesn't fit with me completely, right? And knowing who you are and knowing how you work, and also having boundaries around that. Nah, that don't feel good to me. Nah, I'm gonna keep looking, right? What I love about this whole Heart Smiles conglomerate is that you all have so many people to pick from, even if they're your stepping stone. Okay, Cam, who can I go to get A, B, and C? You know somebody? Okay, nope. All right, Elder, who can I go to? Okay, Donovan, you got somebody? I need somebody in this space, right? Because all of you have like the collective energy that says, I want better for myself.
Right.
I'm going to outshine everything around me, right? And because you are in a great circle with people like that, you all feed off of each other. Right. So don't despise the spaces that you're in either.
Right.
Don't overlook the spaces because it's so common. Oh, we gonna get together for Mission Mondays and Winning Wednesdays and Thriving Thursdays, right? That's just what we do. But no, reach out to those people.
Right.
These people here for a reason.
Right.
You might not know it when you first get in here. Who does Gemma know, right? I saw Gemma say that, I'm looking to reach more collectors of art, right? How do we do that? Who's got a gallery?
Yep.
What Black-owned business has a gallery? I'm gonna shout out Black Genius Art Show. He's got a storefront. Go in and ask.
You're coming to Gemma Art Show in August?
We'll be there.
Oh, okay. Okay, I had to make sure
Gemma,
we got the flyer downstairs.
And Gemma, I didn't forget. I gotta get a painting from you. I did not forget.
Yeah.
So please don't be mad at me. I didn't forget.
Yeah, we people of our word over here.
But I really want to stress to y'all, and I can't stress enough. Be a kid. Like, stop rushing to be an adult.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it, please. Do that for me. Be a kid.
Yeah.
Because once it's gone. So, a really quick story. When me and my wife first got together, our son was 8, and he would always be counting the next birthday. I can't wait till I'm 9. I can't wait till I'm 10. He turned 9. He was counting 11. Right. Right. That's what he was doing. So I had a conversation with him and told him about just rushing it, and we had a conversation about him rushing his life for about a year. So now, fast forward 7 years later, he's 15. Right. I said, "How you feel about being older?" They need to slow down. They need to slow down. Yep. It's coming too fast. I was like, "Yeah, you were just talking. Yeah, I'm not ready to leave home yet."
And I'll go back on that topic, like about money. I feel like we live in a society that shows us that like money brings happiness, but it doesn't bring happiness. It just brings more freedom, and that's why we just need money. We need that much. Like we just need so much money, like in our face. And another thing is like the whole thing with Miss Jewel was saying, like knowledge is power. Like I feel like I wish they promoted that on social media more. Just getting into the logistics and just knowing what is what, because like it's 17-year-olds out here getting cars, 20-year-olds out here getting their first apartment. So what it does is it's like a program.
It is.
It's just like say, wow, this person is 20 and they have their own apartment, their own car, and I'm 20. Why am I not having the same thing? You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like social worst enemy. So I feel like get off of it.
I'm not going to disagree with what you said about social media, but here's the thing: social media don't force none of us to be on it. Like we want, like if you ever heard the saying, when you go looking for something, you find it.
Yeah, definitely.
You go on social media, you go looking to see who out here is shining, right? Who out here dragging, right? Who out here dragging, and then you find it, and you feel some kind of way, right? But what if happens if you just delete your social media accounts? You get to live your life. And I'm not, and I'm a little passionate about it because me and my wife talk about this all the time, and we still voyeurs. I'm saying those things, while it gives you a good thing to strive toward, it also creates a lot of undue stress. Now you race it. I gotta have this by 20. I gotta have this. We do need money in this society, but it's not how much money you make. When you start making some money, it's what you do with the money. So you have to ask yourself what's important. Like these shoes that we buy, and I got them, we want to be flossing, right? I'm looking good, I'm out here, I'm getting bit, right? That's what I'm doing, right? I'm working on my adjectives, by the way. But I'm saying this to say, like, you just really creating a lot of more challenges for yourself. You're hurting yourself more than you're helping yourself. And I know social media is the thing. I get it. But what do we want, right? I want y'all to be kids. I want you to develop your personality. I want you to develop your social skills. And you can do all of those things right now while you don't have to worry about the confounds of money. Because once you're out here hustling for money, you ain't thinking about nothing but hustling for that money. And then you become a slave.
Yeah.
So can I chime in real quick?
Yes.
Yeah, please. Absolutely.
I was gonna say, well, I feel like with social media, like behind it is like perspective. Like sometimes you could see somebody doing something that may seem like it's more than what you're doing, but you could see it as inspiration. Correct. Versus you seeing it as, oh, let me compare what I'm doing right now at my age to what they doing right now at their age. Like you can see it like that, but sometimes I know we do need to check out of social media and just take a step back, because I know sometimes like with like political events, with things like that start to be too much for me. Like it's too much to process all at one time. It's just like, what do I think? Like, how do I, find my perspective all throughout these different things that's going on? Like, especially with like the Roe versus Wade event that's going on right now. Like, it's so many different things that people are posting, or like testimonials and things like that. And that also have like an emotional toll, like on people too. Like seeing people different stories is like, oh my God, like people are really going through things like this right now, and it's like out of my control. But it goes back to what you were saying before about like you have to focus on what you can control versus what you can't control. You can't control that you have Instagram on your phone. Delete Instagram, and then you really need to use it. Okay, download it again. But is this also a thing that was in this book that Elder was reading? Atomic Habits, and it was talking about the law of least effort. So like if you really want to let me see, like clean your room, for example, you already have the vacuum, everything all in one space in your room already. It's right next to your bed. When you wake up, you brush your teeth, the stuff already in your room, you can clean your room. But if the vacuum and everything is downstairs and it take a little bit of time to go get it, you're less likely to do it. So if you really don't want to use Instagram, or you really don't want to get the aftermath of Instagram or the emotional toll from Instagram, delete the app off your phone, because it takes a lot to go to the app store, type in Instagram, download it all over again, get reacclimated to being on there. So kind of take that into consideration. I don't know.
You know, so allow me to say, you know, we do compare ourselves, right? So I was about 37 and 38, right? And poetry, I was doing a lot of poetry. So I went to this one guy who I went to see this one guy who I thought was really dope, right? Really dope. I come home and I talk Jewel head off about it, right? And she looked me in my face. She said, "You can do it, but you gotta do it your way." When she said that to me, I have been different ever since. Because I stopped comparing myself. I stopped wanting with somebody else. Hey, okay, I might want that, but how can I do it my way? You know, my way might be longer, it might be quicker. But we have to do things our way sometimes. We have to take in all of these mentors we got, take in the advice, take what we need from it, and then create our own thing, right? And if we don't know our own thing, we do it a way that we see until we find ourselves in it. Right now, spend your time, if I can say anything, developing who you are as a person.
Yes.
Be young, be immature, be childish, Coach Johnson, because you are a child. You know what I'm saying? Be a child. Like there are a lot of us right now as adults that never got a chance to be a child. There's probably a few of y'all that didn't get a chance to be a child.
Yeah.
And this is not me calling y'all a child, but damn it, you a child. Be a child. It don't hurt. Look, you want this gray hair? You see it? Right. You see that? I don't want it either.
I don't want the smoke.
I don't want it either. I don't want it either. But all of these things and just going back, you know, but if you're not resting, you're going to look my age. You're going to be half my age looking like me already. Like, why you ain't great? You ain't been 22. Because you ain't been resting.
That's real. I like how you said inspiration, you know, finding inspiration. So there's a mastermind group that we just joined. I saw them on social media, right? It's not that I can't get good things from social media. It's just the amount in which I take in.
Yes.
Right?
Overload.
We out here emotional beings. We listening to what people saying. Like there's this other thing that's going around about this woman who was cussing out her child's father and stuff like that, right? Yeah. Woo! It was a lot.
Yeah.
Because I immediately go into coach mode.
Yeah.
And this is what I know. I don't have all the information. Yeah. I ain't commenting on it. Right? Some things we'll just sit there and we'll be inside the comments and reading people's comments. I know that that's a danger zone for me.
Absolutely.
It's literally, I have had such an emotional toll on me because I did not take the time to stop scrolling social media. I would be so upset on the inside and try and figure out, like, what is going on with me? Why do I feel like this? Why do I feel so drained? Why do I feel unhappy? Like, what have I been taking in over the past 3 days? Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't know. Please finish.
I just feel like all things are great, right? All things have great uses. But anything that is used too much can be to our detriment. That's anything, right? That's anything and anybody. The greatest person in the world, me. You want to talk to me every single day? Nah, I ain't going to be great for you every day.
She ain't great for me every day.
Right. And that's real. So be clear. I like giving an hour here, an hour there, 2 hours there. Sometimes you might get me for a day, depending on what we're working on. But I know once I expend that energy, I'm going to need about 2-3 days recoup time. Absolutely. I'm going to need time not to talk to people. I'm going to need time to process and come off the high and then, you know, get recharged and all of that, all of those things. A lot of you are interacting with people a lot, right? Cam, you especially, right? I don't know everybody's thing and everything that everybody's doing, but a lot of you all are interacting with people and educating people Like, you have to have time to stop, to not only educate yourself more, right? So you'll have more to give. But what's your rest look like? What's your revitalization plan look like, right? Any good business, they done put a plan in place. They gonna put schedules in place. But you know what they do? They go back and they look at those metrics.
Mm-hmm.
They go back and they look at the data. What's your data look like on your rest? All right, I'm supposed to be doing this Tuesday to Tuesday thing. I'm trying. You're not.
No, you're not.
Just do it.
It sounds good. You giving us lip service.
Right? It sounds good to you because I've done it. And I'm only saying it because I've done it.
Absolutely.
No,
Listen.
but y'all, I've been doing good though, because I normally when I do stuff like this, I be feeling like real guilty. Like yesterday, I think Dawn had hit me up for some lift codes for youthful insecurity. And I always use the lift codes. Like, I make sure I get them to them before they need them and everything like that. And I was like, dang, I'm off. I got to text Miss Mo. So I text Miss Mo, and I'm like, Miss Mo, can you do these? Because I know they need them, but I'm off, so I can't do them. I just need to be like that. I need to set some boundaries with myself. And she was like, yes, of course, enjoy your break. Enjoy your vacation. I handle it. And that was just that. But like, I've been trying to handle it like that, even with like some meetings that I had scheduled. I just decided to take this break. Like, I just decided to do it. So I was like, well, let me see what I can do. So like, I was supposed to have a meeting today right before Winning Wednesday from 5 to 6. I said, look, Gemma, could you take notes for me? And next week when we have another meeting or whatever the case may be, I'm already on track. But I can't be at the meeting because I need to have those boundaries with myself. The only reason I'm getting on Winning Wednesday is because, like I said, it's a therapy session. Like, I know I'm gonna be pouring into me as much as y'all coming on here pouring into us. So like, I needed this. So even if I was chilling or it was my off day, I still would be watching this because that's what Winning Wednesday is to me. Like, even if you guys wasn't on, it was just us. It's always like therapy because we always talking and we relate to each other and everything like that. So boundaries with everything else. I was rearranging everything, but this is what I need.
I get it.
Just have to be kind to ourselves, right? Like, we gotta, and I'm going back to it, we gotta treat ourselves like that phone. How long that phone will last if you don't charge it for a whole day? How long it's gonna last? And you've been using it a lot. How long it's gonna last? Maybe 8 hours, right? And then after it dies, you spend every single waking moment thinking about how can I charge this phone? Right? You laughing because it's the truth. That's all. Look, you leave your phone. Oh, no, I gotta charge it. I'm losing let me use your phone. You just lose your mind. I'm saying if you give yourself just a third of that energy that you use and just give yourself a third of that energy, you'll feel a lot better. How you like walking around being cranky? How you like walking around feeling like you're not always fully awoke? Just in a fog. And I ain't talking about if you partake in extra activity. I'm just saying walking around in a fog all the time. Because you're tired. Yeah. And you don't have nobody to blame but yourself. I get it. Some of us have a challenging lives, and we might have to take care of our younger siblings. So it's kudos to those. But I'm saying for those of us that do not have to do that, what's your excuse for not resting? Yeah. Because we want to be in everything. We don't want to sit with ourselves, because that's the big thing. And we already touched on that. But we don't want to sit with ourselves.
It's true. And in silence, I said this today, in silence comes the greatest clarity. Some of those questions that y'all been running from, that y'all want to ask yourself, that you don't really want to know the answer to.
Right.
I just want you to know those questions aren't going anywhere.
Right.
You still gonna have to answer it. You still gonna have to get some clarity, right? Because until you get really clear about you, those questions are gonna keep coming up. So we talk about being young and being at this stage. It's great to get really, really clear with who I am right now.
Right.
Who is the 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old version of me? What do I see for myself right now? Not what society says.
Right.
Bump that, because society always talking.
Always talking.
we need to put society on mute.
Always talking.
Like, put it on mute. And let's hear what you have to say, right? I talked about intuition a few times. Everybody has that truthful voice that is inside of you. And we can't hear it most of the time because we don't want to be quiet. We don't want to be silent. We don't want to take that time for ourselves, right? We feel like we're missing out on something. I could be doing something in this time, but you are. He reminds me of this all the time. You are doing something. And sometimes when I feel myself getting anxious because I feel like, oh, I could be doing this. I could be doing this inside of my business. I could be doing that. I sit back. I take a deep breath. And I say, I am doing exactly what I need to do in this moment.
So speaking about that, everybody right now take a really deep breath.
Yeah, big time. Listen, just that pause, like just that intentional moment can slow everything down. Coach Desmond talked about it on Monday. He was like, I time travel.
All the time. All the time.
You want to know how to slow time down? Breathe deeply and intentionally.
Right.
Literally, that 1 second felt so long.
Right.
That quiet feels so long sometimes. But imagine what can come out of your quiet. What else will you be inspired to do, right? What other creative ideas will come out of that, right? I saw the grind culture going inside of there, right?
So that's a great definition. I'm sorry, man.
Go ahead, please.
That's a great definition of grinding. We out here grinding, right? You grinding something down. So if something is this tall, you grind it. 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 That's what we doing to ourselves. You just grinding it down.
Yeah. And it sounds good. Be very clear that grinding doesn't mean that you're productive.
Right.
That's something totally different. If your steps are aligned with what you really want to do, fine. You're being productive, right?
And that doesn't mean that you can't work hard for what you got. But when you in it, okay, these are my 3 hours. I'm going to do so I'm going to grind these 3 hours. And after these 3 hours, I'm out, right? Because if I keep grinding, ain't going to be none of me left.
That part.
It's not rocket science, but however, it's because, in my opinion, a lot of times we're young, we just want the next thing. We want the next thing. Appreciate your moment, like right now.
And that's big because I still do that. I'm 37.
And allow me to say, and unless you die young, you're going to get to be my age.
That part.
So unless you plan on dying young, you're going to get here. So why not take your time getting here?
Yeah.
Real talk. So if you want to be a kid for another 20 years, be a kid for another 20 years. There's nothing wrong with that. It's only something wrong with that when you don't want to do anything. And if you don't want to do anything, fine, don't do anything. Just don't let it affect anybody else that you don't want to do anything. But it would behoove you not to take this time just to develop yourself as a person. Creating my boundaries, creating what my do's and my don'ts, developing my intuition, learning to sit with myself, being quiet. I learned the difference about quiet. My wife said when she moved to Washington for 3 years, she said it was so quiet, it was deafening.
Right. And this is not DC, Washington State.
Washington State.
All the way on the other side.
So think about what I just said. It was so quiet that it was too loud. That don't even make no sense.
I told a friend today, I said, usually we talk about when we hear our intuition that it's this still small voice, right? Some people say the voice of God comes in a still small voice. But most people don't talk about what that voice sounds like when you're actually quiet. It's actually very loud.
Right.
And it's very clear.
Right.
And there's no mistaking what it is.
Like a lot of us want to talk to God, but we don't want to get quiet enough to hear him talk. Right?
That part.
And if you read the Bible, what it always says that Jesus does, he always went off to meditate. He always had moments by himself. You think he was looking on social media? you think he was looking on social media?
Or talking to the town people in the square?
Did they say he took somebody with him? He went off and just by himself, right? We gotta take this time to get clear. It's challenging. You're not gonna make the mark every time. Like me and my wife have been at it for a while. And this is not me trying to tell her what to do. But when I met her and she was an engineer, she would never take days off. Back would be jacked up. Walk around like this.
From tension.
Don't want me to touch her, right? Don't want me to touch her.
Yeah, from tension.
And then you know what happened when she quit that job?
Automatically.
She has never complained about her shoulders hurting since she gave up that job.
Yeah.
Did she give up a lot of money with the job? Yes.
That's
yes. But the person that I have is not the person that I married.
Yeah.
I feel like back burning ourselves out. A major part that plays with burning ourselves out is people pleasing.
Yes.
Right.
We burn ourselves out just to hear that I'm proud of you. We burn ourselves out just to see you. Like, I feel like I found myself doing that at a point in time. Like with Her Smiles, we just have a lot of projects. And it was a point in time when I wanted to be in every project that came out just so I can hear that I see you doing it.
Yep.
I can hear that. So I had to really sit with myself and really just like not join those projects because I knew how packed my schedule was with school and stuff. And I knew if I joined those projects, it just wouldn't have been okay for my mental health, and it just wouldn't have been good for me. Maybe for some, not for me. So I feel like a major part that comes with burning ourselves out is definitely people pleasing, and that could also come from our childhood.
Yes,
like from my childhood. So yeah, I would say like burning ourselves out like comes with that.
So Coach Johnson says heavy on boundaries, and I want to use what you just said, Fatima. I want y'all to be heavy on.
That was said, not Coach Johnson.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Y'all got the same first
My bad. You correct me, but you correct me off the camera. You don't correct me like that. My apologies. So I want y'all to be heavy on sitting with yourself. That's what I want y'all. I want y'all to be heavy on sitting with yourself. A lot of us doing all this running around because we don't want to sit with ourselves.
And also, to your point, Fatima, it's a coping mechanism. Right? When my parents got divorced when I was younger, I went straight into achievement.
And this woman is a high achiever at everything she does.
When I met him, I still had awards from 2nd grade, 3rd grade, all of that stuff. I kept tabs of all of that stuff because those things were important to me, right? It made me feel good. I felt celebrated in those things. But that celebration was most of the time external. I didn't really feel great about it. I felt great that somebody else felt great. You understand what I'm saying? That part.
That part, right? That part, right?
That part. So this is what we're saying to you. It's nothing wrong with serving. It's nothing wrong with being of service. It's nothing wrong with helping people. You know, it's nothing wrong with that. But you got to put you first. Yeah. And we're not taught that.
Yeah. We put ourselves first as selfish, right? But so here's it. If we put that's selfish, but the first rule of life is self-preservation. So the first rule of life is to save yourself, but then when you do that, you're selfish.
Right. Or you feel guilty about it, right? You are the one who knows what's best for you. Right? You got that internal intuition, that voice that never lies to you. Right? Only you know that. Only you know your limits, right? And this is why we talked about communication in the beginning, because if you don't express what your limits is, like Fatima did, right? I know this is not good for my mental health. I know I'm going to be burned out. I know I got other obligations. So I need to make sure I prioritize the way that I spend my energy, right? There's this thing going around on Instagram. I watch a lot of financial literacy. I watch the Breakfast Club sometimes through their IG page. And a guy was saying that yeses are expensive.
I was going to say it.
Why I reposted that from your page, Miss Jewel? I was like,
yeses are expensive. Whatever you say yes to You have now committed your time, your resources, your energy, right? But we out here not wanting to say no. To preserve ourselves, to protect ourselves, to keep ourselves in a state that is the best for our well-being, right? So before you start saying yes to all of these things, ask yourself, who is this good for? Is this mutually beneficial? Like, I do a lot of stuff. I do videography and photography and all this kind of stuff. I've gotten to the place now that I don't take clients that I don't want to work with.
And that don't mean because we got a pocket full of money.
That does not mean that.
I mean, it don't allow.
I turned down thousands of dollars. I don't care. But guess what? This ain't mutually beneficial.
Sometimes I'm walking around with no haircut.
Real talk. I'm not going to give my energy to something that I don't feel like is going to be reciprocated. And that's in anything. Can I learn something there? And am I going to connect with somebody there? Is it just like me and this person who's hiring me is connecting me? Or am I going to be able to reach more people because of this thing that I'm doing? Right? Does it make sense for my overall well-being? Yes. And that's what people do. Absolutely. Absolutely. We have to be really clear, and we got to get really protective of our energy, our time. Come on. Our time, we got to value that because you cannot get that back.
Telling you.
You cannot get that back. We talked about youth in the beginning. You can't get it back. Even that moment that just happened, I can't get that back. Right? But we choose to spend this time with you all because this is an investment. This gives to us both ways, right? And so you got to just be really clear about what it is that you want, what you want in your circle, going back to, some of your most difficult challenges, your biggest challenges, right? Getting really clear about you, what you want at this moment, at this time, right? If you got to break it up into 90-day stints, okay, for the next 90 days, this is what I'm looking for. All right, I want to do this in my business. I want to connect with Gemma. I want to connect with some art makers, other artists. I'm going to get 3 artists that I'm going to talk to that's been where I want to be. I'm going to get on their calendar and see if I can talk to them. Maybe I can buy them a cup of coffee or something, right? For the wisdom that they're going to give me. Right? Find a couple people on social media who are actually doing, right, what you want to do.
Follow them.
Right? And follow them. And then take some things from it, implement it, right? See what happens. But that's focused energy. That's not all over the place. Right? There's a lot out there. But focus on what it is that you want.
Yeah, so I want to challenge y'all. There's this movie within the last 15 years, Jim Carrey. Everybody familiar with who Jim Carrey is? Okay, all right.
Have y'all ever seen The Mask?
You ever seen the movie The Mask?
Okay, that was real old.
Okay, all right. Have y'all seen Sonic? Sonic the Hedgehog? Right,
okay,
so the bad guy in that, the villain. Okay, so long story short, it's this movie called Yes Man. I want all y'all to watch it, right? He goes to the seminar, he gets hypnotized into saying yes, and he says yes to everything. And I want y'all just to watch it and watch how he runs himself around as a whole fool. He just runs around the whole time, right? And he's drinking. That's what a lot of us are doing. And once you see it and how simple it looks, yeah, it's funny. But I want you to see like how he just does not take a moment for himself. That's what a lot of us doing. We're not taking any moments for ourselves. The most expensive thing in life is our time.
Yeah.
And by the time we realize it, we halfway through it. We 40. We 50. We 30, and we didn't made so many mistakes, and we didn't spend so many time judging ourselves, and now we feel like we can't get the time back. Okay.
Fatima, you was about to say something.
I just had a quick question. So why is it that whenever we say no, that guilty conscience just sneaks up on us? Like with me, I overthink so much. So just saying no is I'm always in the back of my head like, oh my gosh, what are they going to say about me? They're going to say Fatima's a bad person. Like I'll always think about that. It's like that.
Well, you just answered your question. You're worried about what somebody else going to say.
That's that people pleasing part.
That's all wrapped into people pleasing. You don't want people to reject you for you putting yourself first. Right? It's a part of rejection.
Okay.
But the fact of the matter is that the more that you say no and the more comfortable you get with saying no, you set a precedent for other people, right? They know, oh, I ain't gonna call her for that because she ain't with it.
Right.
Right. And now you stop the flow of people asking and wanting your energy for things that doesn't align with you. Right. So again, the practice and the study. Get into the practice of saying no when you need to say no. Because you're showing people again what your boundaries are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay if they get upset. It's not their time that's being wasted. It would be yours, right? You got to be a steward of your time. So do your best not to worry about that. It's going to sting a little bit in the beginning, right? It's going to be a little uncomfortable in the beginning, but again, this is my overall well-being, and I got to protect that.
I gotta charge my battery. Gotta put my phone on the charger. I gotta put my phone on the charger.
That part.
Y'all ain't running around here with 20% phones. Y'all running around here with them 65% charges. I promise. You better put your phone on the charger.
Right.
So how many, it's time. I want to say thank you. And I want to say all of y'all, I love y'all, man.
Yeah,
this has been really wonderful for me and Moy. We have learned so much about y'all. We have learned so much about ourselves.
Yes.
And as much as y'all look forward to it, we probably look forward to it just more.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank y'all. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and say my jewel first, and then everybody else can say their jewel, and then we close out. But, yo, this is not going to be the last time we see Miss Jewel and Coach Desmond. They're going to be back for the summertime. So just make sure y'all tune in to Success Sessions every day and see when y'all catch them. But my jewel, and it's something that I was, like, paying attention today, because today I didn't talk as much as I usually do on Wednesday. Be intentional about the information that you breathe in and who you're breathing it in from. So, like, from the first time that I met Miss Jewel, like, without Google Meet or whatever, I knew, like, it was something that was just trusting in me that Miss Jewel would tell me the right information by what she was saying. And so now that we've been having these sessions, every time that we had these sessions, I try to lean in a little bit more than how much I talk. And when I do talk, I'm really intentional about what I'm saying, like, in this space, the space that we created. Like, these conversations have really been healing conversations. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've apologized because of something that y'all said in other conversations that I was like, dang, like, I did that? No way. I did that a long time ago, but I'm still gonna go apologize to them. And they be like, what? Why you say that out of the blue? And I'm like, well, I just learned the information. So be really intentional about what information you're breathing.
That was good, Kim. I like that. One jewel for me will be, this is something I learned today. Came across TikTok and I seen it. How you view yourself is how people would treat you. Like, back then, like, I'm kind of like that now, but I was just always goofy. And that's just how it was before, like, when I met people. So guess what? People treated me that way. People never took this, and people would always just do me dirty because that's just how I presented myself. But had I, like, and they always say first impression is very important. So in your first impression, if you're just being goofy and just all over the place, people aren't going to take you. They're not going to take you serious. So I'm just saying, like, just be very, like, serious, like, with your, just make sure you view yourself, like, serious, just like how you want people to treat you.
That's good. So I'm going to tell you what my jewel for the day is, and it wasn't said in this conversation, but my jewel is to lean into healthy discomfort. A lot of the things that we've been talking about over these last 4 weeks have been somewhat new, have been somewhat uncomfortable, right? It's kind of challenging to think about whether it's our dynamic with our parents, my dynamic with my husband. Some things that come up will be really uncomfortable, right? And sometimes it might make you want to shut down. It might make you want to say, forget it, like, whatever it is. But what happens if you actually lean in to the discomfort? What happens if you actually sit in it for a while and be open to evaluate yourself, right? And to realize that you ain't got it all together. right? It's never going to be a moment. I used to be really big on, I just want to be like, when I say right, I don't need to be right in the sense of I'm right, you're wrong. But I want to do things in the right way. But that might not always happen. And that's okay, because that's how evolution happens. That's how growth happens. It's never going to be always sunny, right? If it was always sunny and the rain never came, my garden wouldn't be flourishing outside, right? So like, don't despise the rain. Don't despise the dark days. Don't despise the dark times, right? There's a lesson in all of that. And the best way to learn those lessons is to lean in. That's my jewel.
All right, so I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna drop the mic on this. I'm gonna get real deep, and then we're gonna drop the mic. All I'm gonna say is, you don't find yourself, you define yourself. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
y'all.
That's it. Get off the screen. That's it. Thanks. God bless you.
That's it, y'all. But I love y'all so much. I really look forward to when we get to have these conversations again. It probably won't be as intimate as these, because when y'all come back, it's gonna be 100+ people on a live. Unfortunately, we love
It's still gonna be intimate.
but like, it's not gonna, y'all not gonna get to point everybody's name out and remember like how y'all do on here. So I love y'all. I hope that everybody gains something from these conversations we've been having for the last 4 weeks, and hopefully maybe we can do another 4 weeks sometime. But we gotta allow Coach Desmond, Ms. Jewel, recharge and set those boundaries for themselves. So when they want to come back, we are here, we are open. But welcome to the Heart Smiles family. But yeah, have a great week, everybody. I love y'all.
Thank you for having me. Bye.